Hey man, welcome back to a new video. Today we're ranking top 10 countries in the UFC. Before we go to the video, make sure you guys smash the subscribe button, make sure you guys like the video, and also join the Discord. Link is in the comments down below. And let's get right back in the video. At number 10, a lot of people will call me biased, in which I think I am biased. I'll admit I am biased, but I got a good reasoning on why number 10 is Armenia. You guys are gonna see the list, all the countries I put over Armenia, and I don't think there's another country that you could have put over Armenia. We have Arman Tsarukyan. He got a very good solid chance of beating Islam. In my opinion, I think he will beat Islam. He's gonna put Armenia on the map. Melsik Baghdasaryan, who's fighting John Silva. If he beats John Silva, he's gonna also put Armenia on the map. A lot of people will know Melsik's name, and I believe he will beat John, because that's a great matchup for him. Even though John Silva is a monster, Melsik, he's a great striker. He was a pro boxer. He's also a kickboxer. He has pro boxing experience, kickboxing experience. His only hole is grappling. And from what I've seen from John Silva, he's not really someone that takes people down and subs them. And even if he tries to wrestle Melsik, he has been training on his wrestling for 2 years, because that's his biggest hole. I believe he has very good chances of beating John Silva. We also got Edmund Shabazian. His stock went down a lot, especially after losing to GM3. He almost gave me a heart attack watching that fight. Good uppercut. GM3 is hurt. Pound on him, pound on him. Yes, 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 yes.
A few moments later.
Oh my god, a choke. Oh my god. Are you serious, bro? We have Caitlin Chukagyan, who was number 1 ranked in the flyweight division at one point. She also fought Valentina Shevchenko. We got Petrosyan as well. He got knocked out by Shara Bullet. I know, I'm still a little sad about that and butthurt, but he has good wins. He beat Gregory Rodriguez, he beat AJ Dobson, he beat Leroy Duncan. He's a good fighter, and he gave Shara Bullet the toughest fight of his career so far. There is no shame in losing to Shara. Shara is good. And last but not least, we have Isaac Dulgarian, one of the best wrestlers in my opinion right now. You can argue he's a better grappler overall than Arman Tsarukyan. This guy is like a mini Shimaev. He runs at people, picks them up, and slams them, and the decision making, the scrambles of Dulgarian, they're elite. Only thing is, his striking is doo-doo. Like Shimaev, at least whenever he's tired, he can strike. Dulgarian was tired against Christian Rodriguez. I still believe he was robbed in that fight. But as soon as he got tired, he kept shotting more takedowns, and that caused him to get more tired. If he had good striking, then he could have stood up with Dulgarian and coasted through that round, so at least he wins the fight. He couldn't do that, therefore it cost him the fight. At number 9, I put New Zealand. We got, of course, Israel Adesanya, who's going to be on 2 lists. He's Nigerian, but he also lived his whole life in New Zealand. He represents New Zealand. Kai Kara of France. He's rumored to fight Alexandre Pantoja. He just knocked out Steve Erceg. He's a great fighter. Top 5 in flyweights right now. Dan Hooker, who's top 5 in lightweights right now. He beat Gamrot and he got back in the top 5. Last but not least, Carlos Ulberg, who just beat Volkan Ozdemir. He's a serious light heavyweight contender right now. New Zealand is looking good, man. All these 4 fighters that I said are current contenders. I believe Kai Kara France will be champion. I don't think Izzy will be champion again, but he's one of the best middleweights, you know. So you can't disrespect Izzy. I might not like Izzy the most, but I can't knock him down. I can't disrespect his legacy. He's one of the best fighters of all time. Number 8. This is a little controversial, because you can argue and put it higher, and I will be open to putting it higher, but me personally, I put it number 8, Mexico. We got former champion Brandon Moreno, Yair Rodriguez, Alexa Grasso. These are the 3 most famous active fighters from Mexico right now. Brandon Moreno, he's one of the best flyweights. I believe there's a possibility of him getting the title back. He looked washed against Royval, but against Albazi, it looked like Prime Moreno was back. The look in his eyes was different against Amir Albazi. When he walked in, I was like, okay, you know what? I might be wrong. Albazi's not going to win. And I was wrong. Moreno outclassed Albazi. Yair Rodriguez, He's an interim champion. Alexa Grasso, she lost against Valentina the third time, but hey, she choked Valentina. She managed to have a draw with Valentina, but lost the third one. So Alexa Grasso is great too. And Mexico definitely deserves number 8. Number 7 we have Australia. Now some people will disagree and will say Mexico should be above Australia. But respectfully, not Brandon Moreno or not Grasso, nobody is on the level of Volkanovski, right? Volkanovski is great. He's one of the greatest fighters of all time. Even though he lost to Ilia Topuria, even though he lost to Islam Makhachev, he's still one of the greatest fighters of all time. His resume speaks for itself. And you have Robert Whittaker, former champion. JDM, a hot contender right now. Tai Tuivasa, who at his highest was number 3, but right now, you know, we can all agree Tai Tuivasa is washed and he's done. He might not win. Like, sadly, he might not win again. I'll be real, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. He might not win a fight ever again. But he still belongs on this list because at his prime, Tai Tuivasa, he was ranked number 3. He was pretty good. He gave Cyril Gane a tough fight. He dropped Cyril Gane. Australia deserves number 7. Nigeria at number 6. Now here's the thing. There's not a lot of Nigerian fighters. There's Adesanya, Kamaru, Sadiq Yusuf, Kennedy. That's the 4 notable names. But Adesanya, he was number 3 pound for pound whenever he had the belt. Kamaru Usman was number 1 pound for pound at some point. Sadiq Yusuf is alright. But having Adesanya, Kamaru Usman, one of the greatest fighters in our generation right now, they deserve to be number 6. Nigeria deserves to be number 6. You don't get these kind of fighters any day of the week, you know. Number 5, Georgia. They have 2 current champions, Merab Dvalishvili, and they have Ilia Topuria. They also have Giga Chikadze, who just gave Arnold Allen a good fight. That fight was pretty good. They have Roman Dolidze, and maybe, just maybe, a future champion in Alexander Topuria. He still hasn't made his debut. His debut is against Cody Haddon in February, UFC 312. It's going to be a hard fight because Cody Haddon himself is very good. But I believe Alexander Topuria will beat him. I've seen clips of him. Just fights like Ilia Topuria. He hasn't fought great opponents yet. He fought cans, I admit. He fought cans. He just fights like Ilia Topuria. Like, he's a mini Topuria at bantamweight. Number 4, UK. We have former champion Leon Edwards. We have Tom Aspinall, Paddy Pimblett, a lightweight contender. Whenever he lost, everybody knows he lost to Jared Gordon, right? Whenever he got a robbery win against Jared Gordon, we thought he might not be as good, but then he came back, beat Ferguson. He subbed Bobby Green, choked him out cold. Now he's looking pretty good. We don't know who's next for him, but apparently he's fighting up. He's fighting a high-ranked guy. Maybe could be Mateus Gamrat, I don't know. Maybe also, it could be Chandler. A lot of people are saying it could be Chandler. Whoever he fights, though, it's going to be a good fight. They also have Michael Venom Page, who's a great striker. He's fighting Shara Bullet next. Also Arnold Allen. I'm going to count Mokaev, even though he got cut. He didn't get cut because he was losing. He's a great talent. He's undefeated. He got cut because he had problems with UFC. God knows what were the problems. But yeah, UK is number 4. Number 3, this is going to be controversial. But on number 3, I put United States. I know a lot of people expected it to be higher on my list. But if it was all time, it would be number 1 for sure. Because you guys have John Jones, Demetrius Johnson, Daniel Cormier, and other 10,000 fighters. But right now, you have John Jones, who is arguably not the champion because, you know, he's ducking the interim champion. That's the people's champion. Tom Aspinall is the people's champion right now. So you have John Jones. After that, you have no other current champions. Sean O'Malley lost. Sean Strickland lost. Sean Strickland might get it if he beats Dorikas again. You have a lot of American fighters. Most fighters in UFC are American. So you have a lot of good fighters, but you don't have the most great fighters, if that makes sense. Like right now, America has the most good fighters, but not the greatest. Like, you have one champion, you don't have like the greatest fighters. If that makes sense, right? I think that makes sense. Number 2, Brazil. Brazil right now is slowly becoming number 1, you know. They're on a good roll. They got Alex Pereira, who's one of the greatest fighters right now in the UFC. Jose Aldo is still fighting, so we must include Jose Aldo. He's still an active fighter. He might not be prime Aldo, but he's still a great fighter. There is Charles Oliveira. There is the Hall of Fighting Nerds, Carlos Prates, Caio Borralho, John Silva. There's Alexandre Pantoja, the flyweight champion. There's Davison Figueiredo, the former flyweight champion, who's a current great contender at bantamweight. Brazil is doing his thing, man. Brazil's doing his thing. They're almost knocking the window at number 1. They're almost becoming number 1. You never know if they start getting them belts. If some people from the fighting nerds start getting the belts, maybe they will become number 1 on my list. We'll see. But number 1 off the list is, you guessed it, Russia. Russia is number 1. Islam Makhachev, lightweight champion. Khamzat Chimaev, who's most likely going to become middleweight champion whenever he beats the winner of Sean Strickland and Dricus du Plessis. Magomed Ankalaev, number 1 contender at light heavyweight. Umar Nurmagomedov, number 1 contender right now at bantamweight, who's fighting for the belt against Merab. You got Movsar Evloev at featherweight. And now you got Peter Yan as well. You got Alexander Volkov. They have literally a brother Russian Dagestani guy at every division. They got a brother in every division. There's Tagir Ulabmekov in flyweight. In bantamweight, there's Umar Nurmagomedov. Featherweight, Evloev. Islam, lightweight. Welterweight, they don't have a brother in welterweight. Wait, who's in welterweight? A brother. A Russian brother. There's no brother in welterweight, but in middleweight, Khamzat Chimaev. Light heavyweight, Ankalaev. And heavyweight, they have right now a new guy, Rizvan Kuniev. He's fighting Curtis Blades in his debut. That's the Dagestani Russian privilege, brother. Yeah, man, that's it for today's video. That's my top 10. Let me know if you guys agree. Subscribe, like the video, and peace.